Hello and welcome back to TGTV, more specifically, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to my apartment. I'm about to jump on my bike and get this video underway, but there's some very exciting news. It's a bit of a world first today on the channel with the exciting reveal of my new steed. BOTB are adding this very bike, this e-bike, to their lineup. Now I don't want to give too much away yet, I want to show you the bike, but this particular bike is being added to the lineup for just 30p. Yes, that's right, 30p. It's worth around 7,000 euros and you can win it with just 30p. So, it's in their lifestyle competition. Many of you will be aware of it already. There's gadgets on there already, and there are watches, which I regularly talk about, and a load of you have been winning watches over the past year or so already. However, e-bikes are in their lifestyle competition, and this particular bike is going to be added to the lineup until Sunday. So make sure you get involved for a limited time only. This particular bike is 30p, but tickets do start at just 15p. So you don't need much cash to get in the pot and win something potentially very, very exciting. You do have to be 17 or over, and as always, I will leave the links below. More on that in a bit, but for now, let's jump on the bike and get this video started. Hello, and welcome back to TGTV, and more specifically, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back once again to YouTube Square. It is a sunny day in London, and I'm in the charging port once again here on YouTube Square. I'm doing a different type of reveal today. I am doing a reveal of my new bike. So, what many of you don't know is my kind of passion for wheels and mechanics and going fast and being irresponsible with spending actually started with bikes when I was a kid. So I was hugely into bikes when I was younger. I used to have a 24-inch kind of dirt jumping bike, Hope disc brakes, all the rest of it. I used to be really into bikes when I was a kid. I said kid, I was like a teenager, many moons ago. However, when I started my city job, I found myself less and less outdoorsy, less and less active, and I found myself in cars more often than not. During lockdown, I've realised actually I want to get back into bikes. I want to get back out in the outdoors, getting muddy and using bikes more. And with the surge in e-bikes and my trip to Croatia with Greyp Bikes, I thought what better way than to get back into it than to get an e-bike from Greyp Bikes. So, without further chitter chatter, I present to you on my channel a new vehicle, my Greyp 6.2 Expert. She's a roller coaster. Oh, she's so sick. Now then, a lot of you would have seen my video in Croatia. I actually flew out to Croatia with Greyp Bikes. Bit of background on Greyp Bikes then. They are actually the sister company to Rimac, the guys that make the Concept C2 and the ridiculous hypercars that put pretty much everything else on the road to shame. The battery technology from Rimac and their factory is in this bike. Really cool, and it's just a cool little bit of background and tie-in with the motoring world. What Greyp have done differently is a number of different things on this. There's a lot of e-bikes on the market, but this is representing something a little bit different and a little bit more clever, in my opinion. So I'm going to go around some of the features, and I realise e-bikes are a little bit controversial, especially those kind of hardcore mountain bike types, kind of akin to the NA, naturally aspirated engines, turbos, and electric kind of car scene, where some people have a little go at them. I actually think there's a huge place for e-bikes. I'm going to go into why, but I'm just going to talk around the features. First things first, what many manufacturers do is they actually attempt to hide the battery. This is the battery here, and this is kind of the heart of it, and this is where all the clever stuff really is. Rimac's batteries are actually in a lot of huge OEM manufacturers. They actually produce the batteries for a number of hypercars. So there's genuine hypercar tech in this battery here. Many of the main bike manufacturers actually seek to hide the battery, not Greyp. They actually make it so that you can take the battery out with this quick release thing here. And you can actually take the battery out like so. Voila, I have a battery, which is actually very useful. A, for charging it, you can bring the battery into your house, and B, you can bring another battery in your backpack should you run out of juice. Speaking of running out of juice, literally just slots in there, and then on there, and it just clicks back in. Really cool design. But it means that you can actually have a spare battery in your backpack for when you're out on long hacks, which is really cool. And they're not that expensive for a new battery. Range then, because you're all going to be asking. Range actually on this is about 100 kilometers, so 62 miles. that should satisfy all but the longest of hacks. And also, with a new battery, obviously you've got about 120 miles in there as well. I have been hacking around on this a fair bit, hence the kind of the dirt on it. And range anxiety is never a thing because it is actually fully integrated with some clever tech here on the screen up here. I'll show some more clever shots of that right now. But it actually is fully integrated, so you can put your location into a smartphone which attaches to the bike, powered by T-Mobile. It is really, really clever stuff. I'm not doing it justice with my explanation, but you can put your location into a map and it'll tell you whether or not you've got enough juice to get there, taking into account gradients and whatnot. The other cool tech stuff as well, whilst I'm at it, you'll see on the front here, that is a light. There was one of these at the back as well, but there's also a wide angle camera in there as well. Not only can you record what you're doing, it will also automatically, if you're not even recording, it's automatically recording in the background the whole time. So it will clip, so you can access the last 20 seconds of footage even when you're not recording. So say you do a sick jump, or God forbid someone takes you off, or something happens, you just think, I really want that on camera, you can actually get up to 20 seconds recorded back when you haven't even been recording. Hopefully that makes sense. And coming around the back here, you've also got a wide angle camera on the back and also a light as well. Really, really cool stuff. And that comes as standard on the bike. That's not an add-on, and that's all integrated into the tech. Another really cool techie thing about this bike is that if it gets nicked, you can track it down. There are trackers in this thing. I know there's a huge problem with bike theft, and particularly e-bike theft, because these things aren't cheap. But if someone nicks this, you can literally track it down within minutes. It will show where it is. So if you're thinking of stealing this, please don't, because I'll have to come and knock on your door. Did this actually work? Can you just press a button and zoom along like a motorbike? No, that's not the case. What it does is it really, really cleverly matches your inputs, and you can adjust how much input the battery actually gives you via this on the fly. Not only that, but the bike will learn your preferences as well using the smartphone app again, all the way up, and it'll pretty much do 100% matching of the input you're putting in, and all the way down you're pretty much riding without any assistance at all. Obviously the battery lasts longer if you go down the range there, but you've also got on here a light and your camera operation and whatnot, all integrated into there. You've got an on-off switch, and you've also got this little button here, which if you're stationary and you want to just get the bike moving slightly, it will give you a little bit of grunt and just move the bike on, you know, a few inches. Really, really clever little function there on that little nozzle. You've also got hydraulic disc brakes, front and back, of course. You've got a dropper post as well. This here will raise and lower the seat post automatically. So if you're going off tricks and whatnot, you want the seat right down to make sure you don't disembowel yourself. But then you can, at the click of a button, your seat post will rise once again, enabling you to cycle nice and easily. There's loads of neat features on here, and it's very high spec as well. We've got RockShox forks at the front here, we've got DT Swiss hubs, we've got disc brakes all the way around, and we've got RockShox rear suspension here. This is all standard stuff that you will see across all the major bike manufacturers, and completely up to scratch. It's a very nicely spec bike in its own right, and we've got SRAM gears as well. I've had absolutely no issues with any of the components on this at all. I've been riding this for about a week now on the sly. Many of you will have seen it on my social media, but I just wanted to get to grips with it and really kind of see how it felt around London before giving you guys the lowdown. You've got Mud Mary tyres, and again you've got well-known wheels here on the back as well. Got BMX style pedals on here. I really don't like cleats, so I'm all used to BMX style pedals with a few pins. I actually need to replace some of the pins on there, but there we go. And as you can see, it's GCT Greyp Connected Technologies. Almost says CGT, which is quite cool. This is the heart of bike, this is the motor, but actually the clever stuff is the battery. This is really what it's all about. This particular example is for the Euro market, so that means it's 250 kilowatts, and it also is limited to 25 kilometers an hour. Now in different markets there are different restrictions. Anything over 25 kilometers an hour, the bike will stop giving you electricity and you'll have to do it yourself. But anything over 25 kilometers an hour is illegal in the UK and most parts of Europe, I believe. I believe it's an EU regulation, or maybe not now as we're out of the EU. You can Google more on that anyway. But I believe you probably can do something about it to de-restrict, or of course, if you've got private land, then you can buy one of the other models that are not restricted. It's completely up to you, but just be aware that if you buy one of the ones that does over 25 kilometers an hour with too much power, then if you're riding on the public road, then potentially you will need insurance and you might get points on your license. I don't actually know how that works, but this is the legal one anyway. This is the G6.2 Expert, and that is on their website now. Price-wise, this is about 7,000 euros. I'll leave all the links below to that. I don't think that represents that bad a value, considering the amount of fun you can have on it, and compared to cars, it's actually pretty good value. You smash something up on this, it's going to be a relatively cheap fix, as opposed to cars, which is absolute hell. You don't need insurance, you don't need anything like that. You just literally buy it and go out, hack around, enjoy yourself. Really nice. I've had a lot of fun on it. I must say it's the most fun I've had in a long time, and my fitness is not where it used to be, and I'm going to get back onto that e-bike point as well. I know a lot of you will be thinking, just get a normal bike, e-bikes are the hell on earth, but actually I've kind of spoken to a few people. There's a few nice stories of people, you know, that are ill, recovering from injuries, with slight disabilities and all the rest of it. They're actually now, e-bikes are meaning that they can come out and use bikes and get active and get moving. For rehab purposes, they're great, and even for people like me, I've got quite bad asthma, which has been riled up recently due to coronavirus and also hay fever, but actually it's really cool to be able to get out on this and keep up with people that are really good on bikes, and yeah, just have a nice afternoon out. So really good fun. I'm very much enjoying it, and do stay tuned, because I'm going to put a GoPro on my head and show you how irresponsible I can be on a bike, and if you're really lucky, you'll see me shunting it at some point. But now it's time to go for a little hoon and probably let myself down. This is hell. I should not be allowed on a bike. This should not be allowed. Okay, watch and learn, everyone. Anyway, for now, thank you very much for watching. This is a little intro to my bike and a kind of a dawn of a new era on this channel. I will be doing bike content, so do stay tuned for that if I last long enough. And the next video, you may well see me with my arm in a sling. Ciao for now, bye. I'm now home then, my arm is not in a sling yet, and obviously the other arm's holding the camera, but before I go, make sure you enter with BOTB to win the Greyp G6.2 Expert. Competition ends Sunday night, and this bike is only going to be in the lineup for a limited time, so make sure you get in the mix. And if bikes don't tickle your fancy, there are watches in the lifestyle competition, and of course somebody does win a car every single week in the main competition. Hit the site anyway, it's in the pinned comment, it's also in the description. Let me know how you get on, and again, as I always threaten, if you're really unlucky, I will deliver your prize. Get in the mix, and I'll see you all very soon. Bye.